Welcome to Baking with Doug. This is not bread making today. This is going to be a mixed berry pie. So today we're going to do the crust and we're going to complete the pie. We're going to refrigerate the dough overnight and then tomorrow we'll make the pie. So we're going to get started with this. It's fairly simple. We're going to start with some flour. And into that we're going to have a little bit of salt. Again, I'll put the specifics of this in the description so that you have the exact measurements. Okay, we're whisking together the flour and the salt. We're going to add shortening. That's 2 tablespoons of that. I find that it's easier with shortening to measure it into a container that's already wet. That way it comes out a little easier. All right. You can also use a pastry blender to cut in. I'm probably going to use that a little bit more when I add the butter. Okay, so we have kind of mixed in our shortening fairly well. Don't want to see any large clumps. We're also going to add our butter. Two ways we can cut it up into cubes and then dump it in. I find it's almost just as easy. Kind of chip it off the stick this way. Again, we're going to blend that in with our pastry blender. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. We're going to add some water. 4 to 6 tablespoons. We're going to start with 4. This is going to be nice ice cold water. So we'll put 4 tablespoons in first. 2, 3, 4. It'll be just enough to get this to form into a ball. Okay, we're almost there with 4. I think we need to go a little bit more. Okay, once we have that in a ball, we're going to try to work it into sort of a disc shape in preparation for rolling out tomorrow into our pie pan. One suggestion they make is to roll your edges a little bit to help it keep from splitting when you roll it out tomorrow. Alright, I'm going to put just a little bit more coating of flour because we're going to put this in some saran wrap or plastic wrap. It might make it less sticky. Okay, saran wrap. I'm going to wrap that tightly, and we're going to put it in the refrigerator. We're going to leave it in there overnight. Probably doesn't need to be that long, but you could go for at least an hour and then start rolling out your dough to make your pie if you're doing it all in the same day. But I'm going to make the rest of the pie tomorrow, so I'm going to put this in the refrigerator and work on the rest of the pie tomorrow. We'll see you then. Let's finish up this pie and get it in the oven. We will need about 7 to 8 cups of berries. And this kind of, you end up sort of overfilling your pie with berries, but that will cook down. But it, again, depends on the berries you have in there. Some berries cook down to a smaller volume than others. Okay, I've got a mixture of blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, and strawberries, but choice is up to you. We're going to add a couple of different things here. We have some cinnamon, some sugar, we have lemon juice, and some flour for a thickener. This is just all-purpose white, unbleached. King Arthur, that's my go-to. Okay, we're going to coat the berries. And we also had our pastry crust that we made yesterday. We had that in the refrigerator to chill. We're going to set that aside. Next step is to get our crust rolled out. What I've done is on parchment paper taken a circle on the back side of this parchment paper and drawn the diameter of the drawn the circumference actually of the pie pan, and then I went another 2 inches out. We're going to try and get our dough out to that outer circle. We want it a little thinner as we move out. I'm going to dust my rolling pin, a little bit of flour, after I've rolled this out, go to the next step. I think I've got it rolled out about the way I want. It's kind of handy having that outer circle marked on the back of my parchment. A couple of ways you can get your crust into the pan. You can roll it up onto your rolling pin and then unroll it later. I'm going to try something now that may be a huge fail. I don't know. Okay. No, don't crack, don't crack, don't crack. Okay. That might have worked. and get it off my parchment. All right, there we go. Okay. I've just lightly greased my pie pan. You know, I've learned that what you would think would be a great pie pan, that being either a glass or ceramic pan, that you would think, oh, that's perfect. I love the look of that clear glass or ceramic. But in fact, I've learned that'll give you the soggy bottom in the middle of your pie that you don't want. Ooh, the bane of the British baking show, soggy bottoms. Because the glass and the ceramic don't get hot enough all the way through to get your pastry crust cooked well. Okay, now what we have is our lovely assortment of berries. So I suggest you do a little research on pie pans and find one that is a nice heavy duty metal, aluminum, if you will. Okay, now we're folding our crust over in whatever form you want it to take. You kind of don't want leaks out the sides, but okay. I have my oven preheating at 400, 400. I'm going to take a piece of parchment on a sheet pan just to help me with drips. Before I put that in the oven, I'm going to take a minute to just brush the exposed crust with some milk and then put some sprinkling sugar, some large crystal sugar on it, and we'll put it in the oven. We're going to bake this at 400 bottom rack for 35 minutes, then transfer to the upper rack for another 10 to 15 to brown the crust. We've taken our pie out of the oven and it looks amazing. The crust is nicely browned. Our interior was bubbly as we took it out. I think this is going to be a winner. Now you want to let it sit and cool so that the juices all kind of gel back together again. It would be much too soupy at this point if you cut into it. So let it cool completely before serving it. I don't know. I'm thinking vanilla ice cream is part of this somehow. But enjoy. I will post the King Arthur baking recipe in the description, and I hope you have a chance to try this.